Who are the owners behind Crawley Town? What is WAGMI United? What is an NFT? And how is Crawley Town run on crypto money?
WAGMI United.
WAGMI United, WAGMI, we're all gonna make it united.
WAGMI United. Have you ever heard of WAGMI United?
Absolutely not. I have not heard about WAGMI United.
Well, WAGMI United, which stands for We're All Gonna Make It United, exists at the intersection of sports and crypto. The group is made up of some of the biggest names in the NFT world. On their website, WAGMI United states that they have 3 main goals. Number 1 is to reinvent broken legacy sports management models. Number 2 is to give fans a meaningful voice. And number 3 is to take Crawley Town, the smallest club in the English Football League, to the Premier League. The question is, who are these people behind WAGMI United? Firstly, let's take a look at Preston Johnson, Evan Smith, and Gary Vaynerchuk.
Look, my background is somewhat in sports. I was a sports bettor for about a decade, and then I was a TV analyst on ESPN for a few years, and then actually left to prioritize Web3 last year in March, and started Pixel Vault with the Punks comic project with Sean Guerin. And Gary, thank you. I know you were supportive of me from the get-go there. So just appreciative to be here, extremely lucky and excited that we get to talk to you a little bit.
My name's Evan Smith. I was a former options trader, lost the licensing battle around NBA Top Shot, got into NFTs pretty early, and just kind of back again with the past year and see a lot of stuff to build and really excited about it. You know, this team has been bound by its region for 126 years, and they've gotten as high as League One, and there's really no pathway for them to grow beyond that if they go the old-fashioned way.
We're bringing the internet a team, and now we have a chance to attach all of these fans across the internet, across the world, to this club that's local near London.
And after 46 games, Crawley finished 22nd in League 2, just 1 place above the relegation zone. After finishing 3 points above Hartlepool, Crawley was safe in League 2. However, for Crawley, it should have never have been about survival. Arguably, it should have been about pushing for promotion.
Gorgeous. It's got to be Toby. He's onside. Play to me. This one, Dragon Foot that's trapping, but he's retreating. And he's Coaches
This one's rhythm and vibe. Trust me, you might hear the rhythm outside.
In September 2022, Crawley announced on their Twitter that they were going to be sending scouts for the Sidemen charity match. Now, initially this seemed like something that was very stupid and something that proper diehard Crawley fans would call outrageous. However, it actually turned out that this was going to be one of the most genius ploys by the club, as it actually brought the most eyes on the club that we've seen since the takeover. From that game, Crawley then proceeded to place both Toby, Manny and Jed Brown on trial from the charity match. And let's just say, Twitter went crazy. A lot of people thought it was a genius idea and that Crawley were gaining loads of clout from it. However, a lot of people were angered by it, as people saw it as a side of these YouTubers who haven't really worked hard to get to where they are, because there's a lot of players out there who haven't made it pro and who are fighting to make it pro and have been outshone by these players who have only played in the charity match. However, Toby from the Sidemen proceeded to defuse the situation, saying that he knew going into this that this was only for engagement and for clicks. Toby also ensured that he didn't want to be taking any places from anybody else. He also made sure that if he was going to be taking anybody with him, it was going to be his 2 brothers.
Like I said in my interview with WAGMI United, Crawley Town, like we've been football fans our whole life. Like, we understand the culture, we understand what it means to the fans, you know, and to players alike. So it's not something where we was just going to come in and walk around like, yeah, give us the chance to play in the FA Cup. No, like, we respect it, and like we respect their craft. Like, they dedicate their lives to this sport, and it's just an honour to be able to train with them and learn from them.
Yeah, I think that was a perception that people thought that, you know, you were just going to walk in and be like, yeah, I'm starting on the weekend.
People like to see things the way they want to see things. Like, if you open your mind and really see it for what it is, and you read the articles that came out, you'd understand that, okay, this is just a good PR play. Like, it's not disrespectful. Like, it's people getting the opportunity to live out a dream.
The fear for a lot of people is like, oh, what about the youngsters that have worked hard for their opportunity and they're not getting it or whatever? And it was never a thing of that. I think, if anything, people can take inspiration from the fact that we are in this environment, we're doing this, and we can take experiences that we've learned from this and be like, for the young guys, if you want to play here, this is what these guys are like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not a thing like, oh, like, here we are, YouTubers are going to come and take their space and whatever now. But I think there's lessons to be learned from this. And
Crawley then proceeded to make content with Toby, Manny and Jed throughout the week, and it got millions of views on TikTok and all the social media platforms. They then proceeded to sign Jed for Crawley's B team, who had previously had playing experience at semi-professional level.
Making millions from NFTs.
Okay, this picture of a monkey just sold for $3.4 million.
Stop. Yep. I'm so bullish on NFTs. Stupid bullish. Especially now. Like, I've literally devoted my life to this shit. Like, literally 100%.
What do you think an NFT is?
I think it's a non-fungible token, so it's like stuff like art and all stuff to do with like the metaverse and stuff like that.
Pretty sure it's just a non-functional token that people use on social media.
NFT, which means non-fungible tokens, are generally created using the same type of programming used for cryptocurrencies. In simple terms, these cryptographic assets are based on a blockchain technology. They cannot be exchanged or traded equivalently like other cryptographic assets, like Bitcoin or Ethereum. It declares ownership of an online asset. These assets can be bought and sold for real-life money. NFTs are authentic and can't be made in bulk and a one-of-one. Even if they are made in bulk, it loses authenticity, much like paintings, for example, the Mona Lisa. Imagine if the Mona Lisa was an NFT. Now, the issue with this ownership was that WAGMI United purchased Crawley at the time that the NFT market was starting to plummet and people starting to lose interest. In an interview with Vice, Preston Johnson said, "We were trying to use all the hype from the NFT boom. These online communities were forming and people were gathering, and we're like, what if we bought these people a professional sports team?" There were a lot of projects and companies that were coming out built on hype, and essentially that was all it was. It was empty promises and hype. It seemed like Preston wasn't too bothered by the fans that were originally started there and was only mainly focused on the fans that were out there on the internet, and sort of lost track to the actual fans who had supported this football club for years. And I suppose that's the problem with social media these days, is that a lot of things get forgotten, and the reason for that is because people are so built up in hype and everybody is so centered around getting likes and views and engagement that we actually start to lose focus of what's actually going on. Especially with this situation with Crawley, is that the fans themselves that are from Crawley have been totally forgotten, and the main focus is trying to get it out there to the people who are online who've probably never even been to Crawley or even heard of Crawley. As it turns out with most American owners, running a football club isn't as actually easy as it seems. With 5 managers in 10 months and sitting at 22nd in the League 2 table, Crawley had gone from being an established mid-table League 2 team to a relegation battling team in the space of 1 season. It seemed like the Crypto Bros were initially destined for failure. Just 2 weeks after the takeover, Crawley manager John Yems was suspended on racial abuse. With that already being a kick in the teeth, the owners didn't help themselves by selling their star striker to a relegation rival. The club sold their star striker Tom Nichols to relegation rivals Gillingham. Preston then proceeded to say that the reason that he sold the star striker was due to his height and he couldn't accommodate 2 smaller strikers. However, it's safe to say that Crawley did have some positive moments throughout the season. For example, Crawley made it to the 3rd round of the EFL Cup, beating Premier League giants Fulham in the 2nd round. Crawley then proceeded to crash out of the 3rd round of the EFL Cup to Burnley. They ended up getting beaten 3-1 on the night, but it was Crawley striker Dom Telford who initially opened the scoring. The question is, are the American owners right for the club, and will they ever get it right? In my personal opinion, I do think they'll get it right. I think once you understand what English football is like, and how to actually run a football club, and getting in somebody who knows how to run a football club, Crawley will be an unstoppable force, as I do think that there's something genuinely there in the project that makes it exciting and something that people really want to watch. As you've just seen from the clips there, we know what Crawley are capable of. It's just about getting everything right behind the scenes and backing it up on the pitch. I've been your host Leo Harkin, thank you for watching.